Hello students, so in this video I would like to show you how to create a snapshot in your virtual machine because we're gonna create this. So it's a good idea to create a snapshot like the base link. We can add this to this tree, uh, boot the system. Once verified that this is okay, we can take another snapshot like chapter 5, this added. So we have this line, so we can go back. If we miss something, we can use our first snapshot, right? Or if everything is correct, later we can go back to our second snapshot, chapter 5, this added. Okay, so I have Kali. Let me work on Kali. Let me, okay, let me power off Kali. Power off Kali. Let's gonna see. Okay, what this snapshot means, right? Okay. Uh, this is your perfect clean, in this case, tally state before any storage lab. If anything goes wrong later, we can instantly return here. Got it? So it's like a backup, okay? But it's the complete system. Okay, this is the great picture of a snapshot. You can r- take a snapshot like a picture of the current state of your system, and then you can go back when you want. Okay, and do everything that you did uh, after the snapshot. So really quick. Okay, so what I did first is power off Kali. Okay, so I shut down the Kali virtual machine completely. Okay, it's off. Perfect. That's good. Then in virtual box manager, let me go to uh, help. Sorry, Kali, right? Let's gonna see. Just click in Kali. See snapshot. So you can have Kali details. Let me go to snapshot. Okay. Then what happened? See the camera here? Okay. To identify a snapshot there. Uh, if nothing happened, you can right click in current state, take it. Okay. So let's gonna call, for example, chapter 5, because I use this lab for chapter 5 because in chapter 5 we created this. So you can call before uh clean state before this. Something like this, something like this. Base clean, much better before this. To remember what is. Also you can put here uh something, right? This snapshot take a pic of the current state of my virtual machine before adding this. Okay, virtual disk. Got it? This is not to take a pic of the current, take a snap, right? I say picture to because it's easy to understand. The current state of my virtual machine before, come on, one more, before adding virtual disk. Okay. Uh, we have, hmm, I guess enough. Okay, so here it said base link before this and appear the date of your system there, right? Taking, okay, you want to take another snapshot? Just see that this snapshot take the pic of, you have the description there. So right click, you can delete, restore. Oh, what happened? If something was wrong, you can restore that. Okay, so you can be here. Yes. Yeah, you can take another one. Okay. What else? Well, now, now that we have the snapshot, uh, you can you can add the disk. Okay. Let's gonna ask we're gonna add some disk. Okay. So let's gonna add this two, for example, and this three, and we're gonna create partition on this disk. And this is what we're gonna do in our lab, right? This is because we need it to cover what we're gonna learn in this chapter. So we're gonna format, we're gonna partition the disk like format, right? Then we're gonna create a file system, mount, we can create a swap space, we can run a file system check, many things. So we wanna do the prerequisite for the chapter, create file system, mount, logical volume group, have everything ready to do that. Since Kali doesn't come with this virtual disk that you can work with it, so this is why we are adding now some disks. I take the snapshot just to, in case I miss something, we miss something, we can go back to the previous state before creating the disk. So let me see here. Uh, Let me remember. Also, you have, look at this, you have the snapshot here. Take option. You want to take, oh, here as well. Mhm. You can select and then delete, restore. Got it? Properties show you that. Okay. What else? It should be a go. So remember, it's still power off. Okay, still power off. So it's like we're gonna do like when you go, you receive the new disk, hard disk, and you go to the computer, the computer center to add the new disk. So you need to shut down the server, right? Power off, and then open the case and add the storage, the new disk, and then turn on, power on, right? We're simulating the sort of thing. So the system have to be down, okay? And now we have to see the option, because this is a new console, uh, to see storage, machine, network, cloud, resources. Nope, my virtual machine are here. It should be something like Now I want to create a new virtual machine. Storage. We have storage here, but perfect. Okay. When you click on details, right? So you are in Kali, right? Click detail. You're gonna see system, display, and then you're gonna see storage. So now click on the link storage and appear this screen. This is that I try to look at the interface change because they have a new version of the virtual manager. Okay, now let's gonna add that is number two because I am my system, your system by default you have that is number one that is used for the operating systems. Okay, now you're gonna add a new disk. So let's gonna create this two. Okay, under the controller, let me see the option. The controller data. Okay, okay. So under the controller, usually you're gonna see data controller. Let's gonna click add. Okay, here see the plus. There are two plus sign here. The first one is set add optional optical drive, and the second one, this is that we're gonna use, is set add hard disk. Click there. Okay, perfect. Appear this screen. Okay, see, create refresh, right? Okay, now let's gonna here. Sorry. So in this screen, uh, the virtual machine it's asking so if we wanna do you wanna attach an existing virtual disk attach, right, or create a new one. So for our lab we're gonna create, right, cleanest safest mode is create a brand new disk so we don't accidentally reuse one of from Kali Linux, right? So create a new one. Okay, let's gonna select create. Okay, now let's gonna set the wizard what is gonna tell us that is size, right? So for the lab, I guess we can select 10 gigabytes, right? You know, 10 gigabytes. We don't wanna waste space on your PC, right? So 10 gigabytes is gonna be okay. Uh, then what else? Oh, this is important. See the destination? Okay, in my case, when I download that, Kali and use the image, so it was on the download folder. So I have to keep that in that location. Remember that I told you to save in documents, MDC, right? So in my case, I installed with you really quick, and this image of Kali is in the downloads. So it's dangerous, right? So you can verify and select the correct, in your case, is the correct location is, I guess it's documents, NDC, I ask you to create that. So I can move, for example, and said, okay, I want to create that not in download, yes, in documents or something like NDC, CTS, I can create a folder here. Snapshot, for example. And here, let's gonna put file name, something that is gonna remain me right, like Kali. Uh, if the chapter change, uh, Kali MDC. Let's say uh, this lab, something that they're gonna remember. Okay, this is okay, but this two, right? This is a this two that we're gonna, because that this one is that count with Kali, right, by default. So this, you can put the name that you want. So I try to put something that they're gonna remember and save in the correct location. Okay, 10 gigabyte, this is the location, and then create, finish. Hard disk type and format, we're gonna work on that later. Okay, later. So just I just wanna record this video when everyone knows how to create your virtual disk. Okay, to get ready for class. Okay, 10 gigabyte, perfect. Then let's gonna repeat to add this tree. Create, where? See, I don't want this location. I'm gonna name this tree. 10 gigabyte as well, not 20. You can put the size that you want if you have enough storage. You can put 20, 30, 40. It's up to you. But for the lab, 10 gigabytes more than enough. Gonna finish. Okay. I have my disk there. Okay. As you see, I have here another system, Alma Linux, and I have this as I created before. Right? Okay. So we have two disks, right? So now that we have to something else, let me see. Hmm, yes, it's enough. No more things here. Okay. And it's gonna power on. Right? It's gonna power on. Gonna wait. Loading. Okay. So it's the same thing. You went to the, it's like when you went to the computer center, You turn off the server, you attach the disk. In our case, we created a virtual machine with VirtualBox Manager, right? And after that, you power on. This is what we're doing. So I'm still recording. Oh, yes, I'm still recording. Good. Okay, loading to Kali. Now, Professor, how can we know that we have the new disk added to our system? Could you show us? Sure. Now, this is the best, the command that you're going to use now a lot. I'm going to open terminal here. Okay, the command that you're going to use to see your storage, to see your disk is ls block. Okay, now we see only, we don't see that this that we added, so we miss some step. Let me see. So here, you don't see the disk, right? So there are two options that we miss. Okay, so the only thing that confirms that we have, remember that I told you that we have only one disk. This is the disk. This is the disk that come with Kali, right? The virtual disk that come with Kali. This is what they use for the operating system. But we would have to see SDB, SDC as a new disk, but we don't see that. We didn't see that. So the extra disks are not actually attached to the virtual machine Kali. So, mm, so it's not seeing that. So there are sometimes happen that we that these were created, but we didn't click the shoes to attach them. This is that I miss, I guess so, right? Or we attach to a different virtual machine. So that these are there, but we didn't attach to Kali. This is what I think that we miss. Okay. So let's gonna check. Let's gonna power off Kali again. Power off. Okay. Once it's power off, okay, we go to remember details. We go here storage. Okay, right. So I'm just gonna see here. Here with a peer controller data, you only see the virtual mm, disk that was created as SDA. Remember the screenshot? This is that come with the installation. So we didn't attach the virtual disk that we created. This is that is happening here. Okay, good recap. We created the virtual disk, but we didn't attach them. Okay, the only disk that is attached to the controller data is that come by default, that came by default. Okay, so let's go and attach these 2 and 3 the right way. So let's gonna start with these 2, right? So here under controller data, right? Let's gonna click in the add hard disk, right? You see the disk here? Okay, now see here, add this image file, okay? Remember that I told you create first because we don't know which disk is free or not. Now we visualize that disk that we created, the 10 gigabyte, this 2 and this 3. See how important is put a name? Now I recognize that. Okay, so these are free but not attached. See that? Not attached. Okay, so this is that I forgot to attach the disk, right? This is why it doesn't appear that. So let's gonna choose, for example, this one. Okay, click this one. Should be an option. Choose, I guess so. Yeah, okay. See that? Appear now to the controller data. That 80 gigabyte that come by default with the installation of Kali, and now this one. So let's gonna repeat the process. That, and now we don't need to create because we already created, right? So you select this one, choose, and appear there. Okay. So let's gonna click OK. Now see what's happening in storage. Now you see that this that we created. Nice, right? So I guess this lab is really nice because prepare you for our material when we're gonna create file system. To create a file system, you need the drive, the disk. So we're creating everything from scratch. That is nice. So you can practice and create, build your virtual machines like this. Okay. So we have them. So good idea. Now take a snapshot. We can set, for example, uh, basically after this snapshot was taken after creating the disk two and this three and attaching them to the controller data. Yeah, something to help you to remember that. Okay, I have another snapshot, right? Now it's gonna go to power on, and it's gonna see if we can recognize that this now. Remember the command that I told you that we're gonna use from now until the end of the semester? Ls block. Okay, we're gonna power on. But loading. So quick recap again. You have to power off your virtual machine, right? Because you're gonna ask disk. You create a disk, right? Remember, you have to select storage, find the storage option, settings, properties. Once you find the storage, click there and you're gonna see the option to create, right? You click the plus and then create the disk with the size that you want. And don't forget to attach, right? Okay. Okay. New terminal. Okay. ls block. Dun, da, da, da. You see what we saw before. And now, as I told you, now SDB and SDC was added. Nice. So if we add another this, okay, you are gonna see SDD. If you add another one, SDE, and so on, right? So we have the disk already. Size 10 gigabyte each one. Perfect, right? That is really nice. Okay, now let's gonna see if our snapshots are working. Power off. Okay, power off. Perfect. Okay, so always wait until it's power off. Okay, snapshot restore the whole virtual machine state. So it's safe to restore while the virtual machine is off. Just a best practice. Okay, so let's gonna see if so we saw that we have disk, right? Let's gonna restore the clean snapshot, no disk. Our virtual machine is selected, Kali, right? Perfect. And now we have the snapshots here, right? Rolling. So we you see the snapshot that we take, right? So the base one, the base and after, before and after, right? Correct? Click on the snapshot base clean before this one. Okay, it's here, right? Single click. So it's just to show that it's selected. And then should be a restore. Here on the left, top left, restore. You are about to restore a snapshot base clean before this. You can create a snapshot of the current state of virtual machine first, trying to create, okay. So create a snapshot of the current machine state or not, right? We get this message, we can uncheck that, right? Because we're gonna read together. You are about to restore a snapshot baseline before this, right? So, okay, assume that you wanna restore. It means that you're gonna lose everything that you have after this snapshot, right? But we already took another snapshot after this, right? So we can play with these two snapshots, right? So, but the manager just wanna just warning us. You can create a snapshot of the current state. Hey, we already did that of the virtual machine first by checking the box below. If you don't do the current state will be permanently lost. Do you want to proceed? Uncheck and restore. Why? Because I already took a snapshot after this, right? If you keep check this box, it's okay, but you're gonna create another snapshot. Why? I don't need that. So restore, right? And it's done. You restore that. Okay. So now let's gonna see if gonna power on now. And it's gonna verify, right? If these are gone, if the snapshot work. So snapshot is a best way to keep your environment safe before doing changes, right? So I doing that in my labs because I don't wanna uh, add more configuration, more things let's say I want to teach this class and I want to teach the same class in another for another section. So what happened? If I want to repeat the same lab, I go back to the previous state where I didn't create the disk, right? And when I done with the two section, I can go back to after. So my system is ready to continue. Okay. So here, what I'm gonna do is execute the command that we used before. Remember the command that is to verify the block, right? It's gonna verify the blocks. Yeah, there is no this, right? It's block verify. That is, we return to our initial state. Perfect. So the snapshot work. Let's gonna see if we can return to the other previous state. Okay, just gonna close. Okay, now power off. Oh, one second. It's already off, right? Because yeah, it's off. So after restore, I don't want to create another one. We're gonna wait now. So now let's gonna start and see if we see the disk. Finger crossed, right? I guess this is a nice lab because you can keep your environment safe after creating this, right? We're gonna see now. Did I power on? Oh yeah, sorry. Tan-ta-da. Let's gonna see if that will work. If that works, this video is gonna be gold, right? You can save this video your favorite for sure, right? So you can practice always, not just for this class, after finishing this class with me. So you're gonna remember Professor Dolido. Right now, it looks really nice. So keep learning. So never stop. I learning every day. Also, when I teach, uh, there are for version there are more. Before we use just we don't use many networking tool that we're using now. So I learned a lot when I took the certification. So let me see. LS block. Beautiful. See how important are snapshots in an administrator? For sure. You notice that. So we have that day. So you can play with the snapshot now. You know how to take a snapshot. You know how to create this. Okay, this video is gonna be really nice for you, right? Okay. So I get this done. So try to do the lab by yourself. So practice. Keep practicing. Okay? Let me stop recording.